Hello, my loves. Welcome to another episode of Break Free from Binge Eating with me, Victoria. Today, the episode is called What to Do When Affirmations Don't Work. Because if you're into personal development, which I'm guessing you are because you're either listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video, we hear time and time again from thought leaders and coaches and mentors, including myself, and self-help books especially, to include affirmations in our daily routines. But have you ever made a daily commitment to do this for yourself, but they don't work and you actually feel even worse repeating that positive affirmation to yourself? Because I sure as hell have experienced this myself, which is why I created this episode today. Because affirmations, honestly, they sound and look nice and can be powerful as like an Instagram caption, but they often leave us feeling like we're even more further away from our goal. So in this episode, I'm going to explain the psychology behind why affirmations don't actually work and what to do instead, so that this will really, really help you move forward in your self-love and body confidence journey. But just a quick note on affirmations before I move forward with my tips and suggestions. If affirmations are currently working for you, then great, keep doing what you're doing. This episode will be helpful for you regardless of whether or not your current affirmations are working for you, because they will just help you to deepen and strengthen your existing ones, and also give you some new tips and techniques to implement other things that I'm going to talk about. So first things first, before I share with you my 3 tips, I just want to talk a little bit about toxic positivity. So when we feel so far away from our goal and we're constantly repeating positive affirmations to ourselves in the mirror, it can almost feel like toxic positivity. So for example, when I first started my body loving journey, I was constantly repeating to myself, my body is beautiful. That actually made me feel even worse because it felt like I was just telling myself a big fat lie, and it actually enhanced the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be. And the reason for this was because I didn't believe in any cell of my being, let alone every cell of my being. I didn't believe that affirmation in any way, shape, or form. So the magic word here again is the word belief. So can you see how the very insightful, powerful quote by my soul sister and cosmic co-pilot Rebecca Kiger, our beliefs create our reality, it's not the other way round. What we believe about ourselves becomes true for us in our physical external world. So if you believe your body is horrible, you'll find proof that it is. So cognitive, I knew I would mess up this word, but it's all good. Let me go again. Cognitive dissonance, I want to talk about next. The reason why we feel further away from our goals when we're repeating positive affirmations that the gurus tell us to do is because if you don't believe the affirmations you're telling yourself, it causes cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is basically a psychological term that stands for inconsistent or contradictory beliefs of some sort. It's when people say one thing, but then do another without even realizing it. So, for example, someone who thinks that breeding animals for human consumption is wrong, yet they still eat meat. That's just one prime example. Cognitive dissonance brings you further away, brings your brain further away from your goals, because it creates a giant gap between where you are now and where you want to be. For example, I am worthy, I am lovable. And you want to believe these affirmations with your whole heart, but because you feel like you're so far away from them, the more you chant these affirmations to yourself, the further away from worthy and lovable you actually feel, because this affirmation just hits almost like a wall internally where your belief system is like, absolutely no way, that's a big fat lie. So which is what happened to me at the start of my journey of accepting and loving my body. So if you're not used to saying the words such as I love myself or I am worthy, constantly repeating them to yourself isn't necessarily all of a sudden going to help if you don't remotely believe them. And again, note before I go into the tips for you, there is some benefit of repetition over time, of course, which is why affirmations are recommended and encouraged. However, I'm going to share with you some great tips to create a super powerful belief rewriting experience that will work for you no matter what stage you're at on your journey. Okay, so as I continue, we're going to be focusing on rewriting beliefs over affirmations. Beliefs can be spoken or they can be written the same way as affirmations can, but by implementing these 3 tips that I'm about to share with you, you'll be well on your way to actually feeling and experiencing what you desire. Okay, so are you ready? Number 1 is get super specific. So beliefs are different to affirmations because beliefs are super specific. So instead of saying something like I am worthy, which is an affirmation, you make it more specific to you, which may look like, for example, I am worthy of getting a pay rise by the next quarter, or I am worthy of being in a loving, committed relationship, or I am worthy of my thoughts and feelings being expressed. In order to make yours more specific, you need to know what it is that you actually want. So, my question to you, my love, what do you want? What do you desire? What is important to you? And when you know that, because honestly, you'll be so surprised at how many people don't know what they actually want, write out your new beliefs so that they are super specific to you. So really get into the nitty-gritty of the details. Make it really colourful and really exciting. Like, I'll give you one of mine, for example. I am worthy of receiving 10K a month in my business just by showing up as myself. I don't have to work hard or be busy all the time in order to receive this amount of money each month. In fact, I have time in my day to relax, to create, and just to be, so that I can serve my clients even more powerfully from a place of overflow. It's so easy to show up as me and get paid in abundance. You see? So I now challenge you, my love, to decide what it is you want. You can take each area of your life and write out new beliefs for each area. Write them in detail and write them in the present tense. And then now we move on to tip number 2, which is to bring emotion into it. So beliefs are more powerful than affirmations because they are infused with emotion. So not only are they specific to you and your life and what you actually want and desire, they're infused with emotion. And what is emotion? Energy in motion. I've said this to you time and time again, but energy in motion means that you're putting some kind of energy into something. Energy in motion. So wherever you're saying your beliefs, when you're speaking them out loud, instead of saying something like, I am worthy of a loving relationship. I mean, it might not be the extreme of that robotic, but instead of just reading it like you're speaking it off a card, try saying it with emotion, like, I am worthy of a loving relationship. Like, really mean it when you say it. If you're not feeling something when you're saying it, then connect to that feeling that you want to feel, if that was true for you, and bring that into your words. When you're writing them down, Bring the emotion into your whole body when you're writing. Because if you're not feeling a sense of strong emotion or experiencing physical reactions such as goosebumps, or maybe even tears or an elevated heart rate or whatever, when you're writing down your beliefs or you're voicing them out loud, I encourage you to try again, really making an effort to visualize and feel your belief being true right now. So as you write or speak them, these new beliefs that you're creating, what would it actually be like in your life to have this come true for you? How amazing would it feel? You have the power to make yourself feel something that you don't currently feel in your life through the power of imagination. Try it with me now. Okay, so of course, if you're driving, don't do this, don't close your eyes, but you can absolutely imagine this. So if you can safely close your eyes and think back to a time when you felt really angry. Or if you've processed all of your past anger, which is amazing, think of something that makes you angry in the world right now. So just connect to that feeling. So maybe it's animal cruelty. Maybe it's the whole coronavirus situation and how the government's dealing with it. However, whatever resonates with you, maybe it's someone in the past that really did you wrong. Connect to that feeling of anger now. Notice how your body physically responds. Now let that go. Come back to your breath and do the same thing, connecting to something that you love, or something that made you feel really happy and loved and warm and fuzzy. So connect to someone you love, something you love. Just connect to that feeling, the past experiences you've had. Allow yourself to feel that. Do you feel it? Now, last but not least, think of a future that you would like to experience. Maybe it's living in financial abundance. How freeing does that feel? What would it actually feel like to never have to worry about money anymore? What would your life look like if that was true for you? How would it feel in your body? Let's move on to body image. How would it feel in your body to be so accepting and loving of the way you look right now without having to change a thing? How unbelievably calming and freeing, again, that word freeing, would it feel to book a holiday in 2 months' time and not even consider having to diet for it because you know that you're already bikini worthy? Just feel into how that would feel. Allow your imagination to get carried away and connect to how that feels. See, you're extremely capable of doing this. You can open your eyes again now. Welcome back. To help you with this, you can create your environment to set yourself up to support you with writing or saying or creating your new beliefs. So for example, you can light some candles, you can put some music on that link and that connect you to the feeling that you would feel if that belief was true for you. This will really help you to bring as much emotion into it as you can. So tip number 3, last but not least, is the beliefs that you're creating have to be uncomfortable yet attainable. So what that means is this is the difference between typical affirmations and beliefs, what we're talking about and working through now. Because by following this tip, being uncomfortable, but it's got to be, possible for you, and I'm going to go into it in a moment, that removes any cognitive dissonance around this new belief that you're creating. So you may have heard of this kind of concept before. It can be called bridging of beliefs. I've used this before. I use this in my coaching, but this is what we're going into now. So in order for you to actually reach your goals and to believe your new beliefs that you're creating, they need to be slightly uncomfortable, yet a part of you, your higher self, that part of you, can see it becoming possible for you somehow. You don't have to know the how, you've just got to see possibility. So for example, if you went originally with, I am so comfortable in my body and I accept every part of me with ease, if that feels impossible for you to believe right now, try something instead along the lines of, I am learning how to feel comfortable in my body every day, and I'm accepting my body even though I may not love it yet. If you can sense a feeling of possibility, like the second example belief, that it could become true for you, even if it still feels uncomfortable right now, then that's exactly the right belief that you're looking at starting to create for yourself. The magic word here is possibility. If you can see yourself doing the thing or feeling that way and really feel it in your body, it will most likely feel scary and exciting at the same time. This is what will propel you forward. So when the beliefs that you're creating become your reality, because they will, you can then create new beliefs that will take you even further towards your goal, and then so on. That's how the bridging of belief works. So to be uncomfortable but attainable. And it's okay if your beliefs that you're creating right now feel really unfamiliar to you. They're going to feel unfamiliar to you. But even if you can see the slightest possibility that you've got yourself a new experience or a new thing that you can feel or have, then that is where the magic lies. These new beliefs will become your reality. And last part I want to talk about is noticing what limiting beliefs come up when doing these exercises and reframing them. Because of course, the reason for us working with affirmations and creating new beliefs is because we want to feel more empowered. We want to feel happy. Who doesn't want to feel happy? That's what we're all striving towards. When you're sitting down to write out your new beliefs, you'll notice limiting beliefs that pop up, and they will be popping up to stop you from releasing them because they don't want to be released. And especially if you're in the middle of creating new ones, you will see them more than ever. So let me give you an example of a great limiting belief that may be blocking you right now using body image and the global pandemic. So now that the world is opening up again, maybe you're worried about the weight that you've gained over lockdown. Maybe you're anxious about your friends and family seeing you in a bigger body. You can reframe that limiting belief to a more empowering one that's going to serve you. Something like, how I look will be the least of my worries because I'll be so grateful to see my friends and family, and those that really care about me will not care in the slightest about how I look. And when I love me, my looks won't matter to me as much because I know I am worthy regardless. Like, how powerful is that? Can you see how that above belief is specific, empowering, it's in the present moment, and it's charged with emotion, and also a little bit uncomfortable to go forth believing. So I'm just going to read that to you one more time. How I look is the least of my worries because I'll be so grateful to see my family and friends again. And those that love me will not care about what my body looks like. And when I love me, my looks won't matter as much to me either way because I will know that I am worthy. Can you see the difference between the anxiety about going out there into the world now it's all open again, and the anxiety that people will judge you and you can't have a good time because you've got bigger? Like, no, that's a limiting belief and that's not the truth. So you get to reframe that. So now it's your turn to go and create some of your own new empowering beliefs using the steps I've just given you today. And I would absolutely love for you to share them with me on Instagram or Facebook. So if you're doing it on your stories, tag me at Victoria Kleinsman. If you're a Facebook queen, then tag me on Facebook. It's Victoria Kleinsman. I'm sure you're following me by now. If not, why are you not? Go and follow me. Let's be friends. But that's it from me. Let me know if you like this episode. And I'm actually going to ask you to do something that I've not asked before, and I have no idea why. Or maybe I do in the outro. I can't remember. But honestly, if you like these podcast episodes, please rate and review. And I know that every single podcaster asks the same thing, but honestly, it really helps people find me and my message. So I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it if you just took 30 seconds to go on Apple Podcasts. If you're not watching this YouTube video, if you're watching the YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're listening, please just rate 5 stars, but of course be honest. Just give your honest feedback and it will help others reach me, and then so they can get the help that they need. So thank you, beautiful, as always, for tuning in, and I will see you next week.